today we're going to compare and order decimals. Comparing decimals means telling either which number is greater or which number is less than. And again, you want to look at your directions. It'll tell you what it is we're looking for. This question says, which number is greater? There are two ways that you can compare and order decimals, and they're very similar. They both start off the same way, and that is by lining up your decimal points. You want to line up your decimal points because what that does is it helps you compare very quickly and easily the values that you have in each place value position. So if I look at these two numbers, I can tell that both of these numbers have no holes. Okay, this has 0 ones and this has 0 ones. So that's why we would line them up, because then I can compare place value positions. But one thing you might notice is this bottom decimal is not the same place value as this top decimal. So the second thing we want to do is add zeros so that each number has the same place value. Okay, and this is going to help me in two ways. The first thing that it will help me with is what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you two different ways to compare these. The first thing I'm going to do is cover these numbers up and just compare place value position at a time. Okay, if I look at this first place value position, they're exactly the same. They both have zeros. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at their second place value position, the 10th spot. Both of these numbers have 3 in the 10th space. This has 3/10 and this has 3/10. Since they're the same, it doesn't help me determine which number is greater and which number is less than. So I'm going to look at my next set of place values. Now, when I look at these, I see that this one has 2 hundredths. The number on top has only 2 hundredths, and the number on the bottom has 4 hundredths. Well, when we think about which is greater, 2 hundredths or 4 hundredths, we know that 4 hundredths is greater, so that this number is the greater number than the bottom number from this number. Okay, the top number actually. So 34 hundredths is greater than 325 thousandths. Now I said there were two ways to compare numbers. That's the first way to do it. The second way, what you want to do, is you want to, again, line up your decimal points, and we're going to add our extra 0 in here to fill in this place value position. But now, instead of covering things up, what we want to do is think about these numbers in terms of what they would look like if they were a picture. Okay, think about this picture. This number up here is 325 thousandths. Okay, so if we had a hole and we broke that hole into thousandths, this number would be 325 of those pieces. This number on the bottom is 340 pieces. So again, if you took that hole and broke it up into 1,000 pieces, this bottom number would be 340 of the 1,000 pieces. So 340 thousandths is going to be more pieces than 325 pieces. And so we can say that this number is greater than that one, because 34 hundredths or 340 thousandths is greater than 325 thousandths. Okay? And we can use these ideas when we order decimals. Now again, one of the most important things to pay attention when you're ordering is your directions. Do you want them in order from least to greatest, or do you want them in order from greatest to least? And for this problem, it says we want them in order from least to greatest. So I'm going to take these numbers, line up all my decimal places. I'm going to use my place value. I'm going to fill in all these empty place value positions so that each of my numbers now has the same place value: 3 and 250 thousandths, 3 and 50 thousandths, 3 and 500 thousandths, 3 and 224 thousandths. And what I want to do is put these in order from least to greatest. So if I cover up my place values and I start looking, all these numbers have the same value out in front of the decimal. They all have 3 holes. Then I'm going to move over and look at my tenths place. So this says 2/10, 0/10, 5/10, 2/10. Well, if I want the smallest number of tenths, that's going to be 0/10, so I can tell that's my smallest number. If I'm putting these in order from least to greatest, I can see this one has 2/10, this one has 2/10, this one has 5/10. 5/10 is more than 2/10, so I know that has to be my greatest number. So now I'm just looking at these two numbers to figure out which one is the smaller of these two. I'm going to look at the next place value position into my hundredths now. This has 25 hundredths. This has 22 hundredths. So which is smaller, having 22 out of 100 pieces or 25 out of 100 pieces? Well, 22 is going to be smaller than 25, so that's how I can put these in order. And that's how you place numbers in order from least to greatest.